Dr. Pepper versus Sprite. You know, Fuzi, we have the health juices now, the health beverages, right? All of these different brands, all right? But Coca-Cola is one recognizable brand. It's a global brand. You see it everywhere, right? It's recognizable. It has strength, right? Tropicana, orange juice, right? You see it everywhere. It has strength. Delta, as I mentioned. The Apple, iPod, iPad, right? The iPhone. Steve Jobs was the face of Apple, right?
Yes.
And when Steve Jobs came out with a new product, he always stood there with his jeans and his black turtleneck sweater, and he was promoting and marketing that new product, right? Apple sells. Apple is a robust brand, right? People love Apple because they can identify with the products, right? And the services. Walmart, always low prices, always. One thing you can expect when you go to Walmart, you can find a variety of things that piques your interest, right? At a low price, right? For those who like to save. GE, General Electric, right? A lot of the electronic products we use that are manufactured by GE. Microsoft. I mean, for all of us, we at some point have used either Word or Excel or Access or any one of the Microsoft products. We've used their operating systems, 2007, 2000, you know, XP, right? Microsoft is a giant in the software industry. Now let's look at some personal brands. Oprah Winfrey, right? The first woman to be worth what? $1 billion, right? She is a media giant in her own right, has her own network, right? Donald Trump. No matter what you think of Donald Trump, no matter what you think of Donald Trump is a strong brand. Donald Trump can put his name on anything, and it sells. Donald Trump can put his name to anything, and people will tune in, right? It doesn't matter what. Donald Trump has even gotten into professional wrestling, you know, because that's how strong of an image Donald Trump is. Jay-Z, right? Went from being a drug dealer in Brooklyn, New York, to being a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur, right? Variety of products, cologne, clothing, his record business, and he's got the baddest girl in the business. So that's not a bad deal. But Jay-Z is a brand, right? Jay-Z is now, I forgot what percentage he owns in the New Jersey Nets, which they're moving to New York. 40%. 40%, right. And now he's part ownership of a national basketball team. So, you know, we look at personal brands. Sir Richard Branson of Virgin Airlines, right? Right, exactly. And you know, it's amazing because sometimes, for those of us, the way we think, the way we identify individuals with services and with products, we would purchase a product or a service because of the people who they're identified with, right? And that's why corporations turn to athletes to promote their products. Michael Jordan in sneakers, Kobe Bryant in sneakers, and all the other athletes that endorse different products. We will buy the product because why? We have that affinity for that athlete, that brand that connects the personal with the corporate, right? Steve Jobs, as I mentioned before, right, with Apple. Right. So that is a comparison between corporate brands and personal brands. Just to show you how individuals can become strong brands. We too can be, you know, we can be brand savvy in how we market our image, how we promote our image. You don't need to be an Oprah Winfrey or a Barack Obama to have a strong brand. You can be an everyday individual working hard to do what you do. But as long as you work on being that person that we saw in that first slide, when we looked on that column with all the positive characteristics that creates that positive brand, that is the type of image that people want to identify with and be loyal to, right? Look like you have a question. No? All right, let's look at damaged personal brands. Who's that?
Governor Illinois.
Or Rob B. Rob Blagojevich, right? Found guilty of selling the Senate seat vacated by Barack Obama, right? When he left the Chicago Senate to run for president, right? Now, you would think a man on a level of being a governor of a state, right, would think a little bit more ethically in how he does business, right? But what do you think? Why would he do something like that? Why? And it wasn't the only unethical thing that he's done. There were other unethical acts, but this was the one that actually got him caught.
Yeah.
You know, greed. It was greed, right? You're selling someone's Senate seat for a profit, right? That goes against everything that's associated in his position, right? Who's that?
Sandusky.
Jerry Sandusky, Penn State former defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No matter how bad Penn State's defense was, what was he doing in the showers with them little boys? You know? But again, bad choices, bad decision making, right? Not doing the right thing, not being ethical, right? Now this is a man who had a powerful position, right? He was a coach for one of the most recognizable universities, one of the most recognizable and celebrated college football programs in Penn State. But he had an insatiable appetite for young boys, right? Which got him busted. Poor decision making, bad decision making. John Edwards. About John Edwards.
I'm in the mountains.
Right? Another damaged brand. Right? Former vice presidential candidate, former presidential candidate, the man who everyone said was going to be, you know, a good candidate for the presidency of the United States of America. But what brought him down? Sex scandals.
Cheating on his wife.
Sex scandals. Cheating on his wife with his campaign photographer. Right? Now I need to change my photography.
I was about to say. That's going to be extra.
But I'm not running for president, so you safe.
You switch up the video.
But, you know, sex scandals, right? Sex scandals, you know, child molestation, you know, unethical behavior by people who you think know better, right? And this is why we say you do what you have to do to develop your brand in a positive way, right? And later on we'll discuss risk mitigation and some certain things that individuals who are on that professional track should be doing to make sure that they don't have that crisis, right? What we have there?
Is that Percy?
No.
No.
That's, what's his name?
The Drive for Five. The Drive for Five. The 5 gold medals.
Yeah.
Steroids, yeah.
Gail. No.
No, not Gail.
It's not Gail.
She did win 5 gold. She didn't win 5 medals. It was 3 golds, a silver, and a bronze.
Oh, you talking about,
What she did
I can't remember her
I
name.
can't remember her name.
She had, yeah.
Marion.
Marion Jones.
Marion Jones.
Marion Jones.
Marion Jones. All right? But what did she get involved in? What brought her down? It wasn't just the steroids. Lying and what else? Forging bad checks.
Forging bad checks.
Forging bad checks. Now, yes, forging bad checks. She and her husband were caught, tried, found guilty for forging bad checks.